First, I'd like to thank all the men and women on this day, Veterans Day, who have fought for their country, the Constitution, the rule of law, and we the people. Thank you so much for your service. And to all those who are no longer with us, who now rest in peace, I want to thank them also. But that right there, we'll stop right there, because these men and women who have served, and you will hear me say that word served throughout this video, they know who to serve. They know that they cannot serve one man who only serves himself. They realize that we're not the enemy. The people in this country are not the enemies within. The people in the military understands, and they know that the person that's in the administration now has been highly compromised. And our country is Blackmail Alley. That's right. The man, and it's a shame that the military is up under now, is an open ledger. And he has to serve the people who holds the tapes. I know you all want the files. I like to see the tapes, because whoever holds the tapes holds the United States hostage. Hell, Ray J had a tape on Kim K. I don't know if he kept any files, but I know that anytime anything came up, what happened? Time to be blackmailed again. Any decision that comes from DJT is not a decision that's made for we the people, the Constitution, the rule of law. It's made for the great cover-up. It's made to keep him from going to prison. He doesn't serve the people. And as long as he's in office, it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. It doesn't matter what policy they put out. It's not going to happen. They can create any bill. It's not going to happen. Because the person that's in office now has a debt to pay. And that debt is not to the American people. That debt is to the people that holds the tapes. And that's why we are at this point with all the chaos, with all the blaming. On whose fault is it? We forgot about the truth. That's what we did. We forgot about integrity. We have to remember that when people are cutting deals in the dark, they call it shadow dockets or whatever, making one-line decisions, those deals aren't for the people. Those deals are to protect the person that's been compromised, the person that is blackmailed. That's what those deals are for. And all those who has an agenda to ride the wave of an empty vessel, to put their agenda forth. Now I'm going to say it again. I've watched channels go at it. I've watched the channels say, the Democrats caved. The Republicans has the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court. Well, the person that holds the power in this country that was granted immunity, and I don't know how we got there, his mind caved long time ago. DJT has never been capable of running the United States of America. He's not capable of running himself. And you know, number 44, I'll take it a step further. Once you get into those psychological assessments, and when you come out of all that testing, and for a person like DJT, you know what they'll tell you? Never leave this person to their own devices. And what has happened? He has been left to his own devices. So the American people have to think, who really is running this country? Who's running this country? Because it's not DJT. He couldn't make those decisions. He can't make those split-second decisions while everybody's over there hollering about the Democrats and the Republicans. This man has the nuclear codes. And I don't know what Roberts was thinking about. Because you can get rich, you can make all the money that you want. But we are watching the most dangerous existential threat of all times. And the only thing I can sit here and think about is when he's pushed too far, when he is cornered, and all the things that you all see him do, he can blow our ass to smithereens. He can say the wrong word, and we're at war with another country. We've watched 3 boats get blown up. These decisions is not even being challenged by the Supreme Court. We've watched so much chaos, so much hatred, that has come to a head. Now, I guess in my mind, the question is, now that we get that 18th vote, and I've been sitting back thinking about that a lot, how far will DJT go to hide the truth? Will he start a war? Or will he blow our ass to smithereens? If you think this shit is about the Democrats and the Republicans, you way off course. You lost the narrative a long time ago. When Mandani won, Jesus Christ, that opened the door once again to say, like Kendrick Lamar, they're not like us. And they're not. Anytime a president throw a Democrat in and say, if you don't choose him, then I'm going to punish New York. And not only New York, I'm going to punish anybody that goes against me. That is not democracy. That is not either Democratic, and it's not Republican. It's medical. Now, I don't know who his doctor is, but let me give you a tip from AARP, or just from a OG or a new G. Every person that struggles with fluid retention, and especially when it's around the ankles, as they call them, Kenko McShankle or whatever, we all know And you don't have to be a cardiologist for this, that death starts in the legs. It does. Once you become immobile, once you have that fear that you can't walk up the stairs, once you have that fear and you fail once, you fear that you're going to fall again, that's a problem. A serious medical issue, a serious neurological issue, an issue that this is the man that holds the nuclear codes, my God, and he can't walk. Is the nuclear codes on him? Is it strapped to him? Because whatever happens, can he make that decision fast enough? And you all are going at it over 8 senators who folded. Well, why come you all can't go at it over a brain that has folded many years ago? Now, one thing, Lawrence O'Donnell, you know that I do know. Rachel knows that I do know. Ari knows that I do know. And I think Joanne Reed knows that I know. Now, if I miss somebody, I have a lot on my bubble, but I can walk outside the bubble and connect to other people. But he can't because he's internal. I think the only thing that came into my mind when they were talking about the Democratic loss, what was sad was, if you're gonna do your homework, you should have been like the generals. You should have found out or read something to prepare yourself to know that you cannot negotiate with this man. You don't negotiate with a bully. The law firms found that out. Good Lord, who in the hell wants to go to a law firm? And this is the person that's supposed to be taking your case when they bent the knee, and you got that person doing your case? Hell, they're going to bend the knee again, and your shit is going to be lost. And of course, all those constitutional lawyers are looking at that. I can't understand for the life of me why come, and this needs to be mandatory for everybody in Congress, Senate, judges. This book here, The Dangerous Case of Donald Trump. Midas Touch Network brought Dr. Bandy Leon. I don't know where you guys were, what you was looking at. I have no clue. But what I want to say to you all is that the people that you're fighting with is the wrong people. The person that you really need to be looking at closely is DJT. But you abandoned that. You abandoned that narrative. And what did you do? What did the media do? You normalized that behavior. That's what you did. A man whose mind has folded and has never been capable of running this country and was given reins by Justice Roberts to go butt naked wild, to do whatever he wants for his agenda, who jeopardized his colleagues' lives for his agenda, who knows that this was an open vessel and that's how they could get through and do the damage that they have done to our country. I think, and I said if I make it through this video, it'll be like a miracle, but I'm gonna try hard. Because like I said, there are people, and I know in my heart, it is not like and subscribe for me. Michelle Obama said, do something, and this is my do something. for years I've known. And that came with having lived it myself. A lot of skin in the game. A lot of diagnostic assessments in my family, friends, relationships that I developed and understood that we were in trouble. And we got deeper and deeper in trouble because we kept saying normal. I didn't even want to hear the word normal. We went down a rabbit hole when we wouldn't even look at this man and all the lies that he told. Hell, in my neighborhood, if you told one lie, they were taking you to the cemetery on the next Sunday. One lie, I'll take you out. But what do? We normalized the lies. And then we came up with this pedophile. Okay, you went to the voting polls and you was looking for something different. I don't know what was on the public's mind. But the word felon was everywhere. But we voted for hatred. We voted for racism. We voted for misogynistic purposes. And I'm still sitting here thinking, this shit is unreal. And that's why I can't do Democrat and Republican. Because it's not. We have a person in office that is an existential threat to our nation. Not to our nation, to many nations, many countries. But yet and still, we want to play this game. Of all the things that we could get done, nothing's going to get done when somebody has been compromised and somebody holds the tapes. We're blackmailed to hell. And it's like, you're not getting that. I don't care what the Republicans draw up. I don't care what the Democrats pull out they ass. Whoever holds the tapes, that's who DJT serves. He doesn't serve the people. He held the marginalized and many people that worked hard, the middle class, captive for food. For food. But yet and still, you all want to have this damn conversation about who caved. Well, I hope you all get back to a person whose mind caved many years ago. Number 44, I would step it up. Because once again, once you leave that office and you've had those diagnostics assessments, you're never, ever supposed to leave that person to his own devices. And what happens when you do? There's a Putin. There's a Kim Jong-un. There's a Justice Roberts waiting around the corner to serve their purpose. They don't serve the people, nor can DJT. Whatever you put out there, whatever people go up there, they're getting paid. They're getting their checks. They got paid when everybody else was out here starving. And then we come to the most horrific thing, the pedophile part, the grand cover-up. And who have been left out in all of this? The people who were abused. And there was Cash Patel trying to say that you can't believe these women. They were children then. and they are adults now, and they've sacrificed a lot for a person that's been moved to Club Fed. Who's being served? Who's knitting one and purl two? Unbelievable. I just want everybody on these damn channels to just stop and think, what the hell are you going to pass when this man cannot serve you and our country is being blackmailed? What bill can you execute? We need better leaders. I'm going to say that again. But Schumer and Jeffries is not those leaders. The leaders that we need will not look at mundane different, and they will endorse people of every color. It would be an inclusive environment. There's nobody sitting here scratching their head and digging their ass and sitting up here thinking about their donors while people go hungry. We need people that really need to be on their toes and look and say, hey, this brother over here is ill. We need people going in saying, hey, we can no longer cover up. We cannot be on the news. We have to ask these questions. We need real journalists. We've seen so many people fold. For what? For a person that cannot help you, that cannot help the nation. Even if he's getting booed or whatever happens, you all got to realize something. You got to come back to the truth. You got to understand that these people that are making these decisions in the dark, or shadow doctors, or whatever they want to call them, they are ashamed. Because they've always said what's done in the dark will come to light. And we've seen that. We've seen that with judges. We've seen that with attorneys. We've seen that with newscasting stations. But if you want to think that it's Republican and Democrat, damn it, you better think again. Because you know something else came to my mind while I was out? Why in the hell is everybody on a military base? We're not doing the skies falling, are we? And if the sky fall, why come our asses out in the open and they're on a military base or in bunkers while we're totally exposed? The day that all these men were called to listen to Pete Hegseth, I thought, are you freaking kidding me? Who the hell is guarding the country while he's up there playing with his penis? And these military men sitting there being stoic, shout out to him, and nonpartisan. I don't care. My husband was military. My father was military. And even after they came home, they showed that was just inbred in them. I learned a lot about the unit. But there's something I want you guys to learn. While you over there thinking that you can pass some shit, that you could put something into action, you can't. Long as this man holds office, long as somebody out there with the tapes and you want the files, whoever got those tapes. And even in my mind, I'm thinking, my God, who trained these people? Because the decisions that DJT is making, he doesn't have the ability to make those decisions. When those young ladies, young kids, got taken away, who orchestrated that? Who trained Epstein? Who trained Maxwell? There was other people involved, just like there's other people involved in this cover-up, and people don't want to come forward to uncover it because what? Then you'll see the true story. You will see the true story. You get a picture that you may not like, but you'll get a picture of the United States of America operating on criminal behavior. And that is not the way democracy is supposed to work. So I was glad to take those days. I was thinking about that West Wing being tore up and the people that was connected to all the construction that was being done at that time. And the contractors like Palantir and these people, what are they doing in there? Why are they connected? And why, where are the building code? Where's the papers that you need to just tear up this? You just can't go in and just tear up the White House. It was just so much running through my mind. And I thought, okay, they have fought so hard to cover up all these crimes. What kind of nation, and other nations are looking at us, gonna normalize a pedophile? These women didn't just dream up these things. They were kids at that time. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna think about what happens next when all is revealed. And I'm saying this for a reason. Because when you push DJT too far, then that could be it for our nation. It's been on my mind for a long time. Kind of like high blood pressure that just doesn't start. Kind of like chronic kidney disease that when you walk in, you might be at stage 3. They don't see it right then. Kind of like a mind that has folded and nobody just really want to address it. An administration that has hid important information, and a man who has written his own diagnosis. And you guys aren't worried about that? You worried about 8 Democrats that fucked up? It's simple. When you do not serve the people, then your ass is out. And the people will no longer put you back in office. That's it. That is it. If you do not serve the people, then you are no longer needed. You're no longer needed. Now, like I said, connecting the dots a long time ago. It wasn't when Trump came down that escalator. It was when I was getting diagnostic assessments on family members and looking at the things that he could and could not do. And Lawrence O'Donnell says it best. Lawrence O'Donnell has been to the mat and has said it time and time again. He is not fit to serve. So why are you expecting him to do something that he can never do? And he cannot serve the people. He cannot serve the people because he's dirty and compromised. And he's beholden to many people, not to we the people, not even to the Constitution, not to the rule of law. He cannot serve us. It is not about us for him, because there is no us. And it never has been. And for all the people that folded, you got served. You never, ever fold, because you will be served time and time again. And to all the women today, and probably men, in those files, and I still want to see the tapes. Who has the tapes? Who has those tapes? Because whoever has those tapes can pull out a whole cord in a minute and make somebody jump. And you've seen the United States do that. All those billions of dollars, all the money that is claimed to be made by him, who's being paid off with that money? And like I said, the people that's living on the bunkers, why are they living there? Why? Or is this supposed to be the survival team that whenever DJ Chill decide to blow us ass up, there's only supposed to be a few remaining? And those remaining only supposed to be the richest people? Think about it for a minute. It's been really hard, because being on the opposite end of the spectrum gives me a different perspective and greater knowledge. It gives me a better picture of what's going on. It can't just be one-sided. And I have the best of both worlds. And we can't learn from just all good people. We got to have some outlaws to teach us some things too. And when they do, you figure like you want to go and get help. And that's not what this administration has done. They never got him help. Even when he was a child. And I'll stop right there, because most doctors know that if you suffer from any trauma during your childhood, you're going to have a physical issue down the road. And how well do I know that? Because I lived it. And I'm surprised that I made it this far. But the only reason why I made it this far was I was willing to learn. I was willing to accept what was in front of me. I was willing to tell people the truth, whether they believed it or not. Yes, I've been torched. We all have. But at the end of the day, that's what kept me alive. I wanted to change. And that's what needs to happen to these parties. They have to make major changes. And it's not about what's been destroyed. It's about being able to make new. rules, regulations, bills, policies. That's what that's about. But we cannot do that until we accept one thing. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, we have a leader who does not lead, who cannot lead, who does not serve, not the people, but has to serve other people because he's been compromised. Blackmail all over the place. All I can think of is this is the blackmail states of America. Blackmail. Think about it. You cannot be served. We the people, the Constitution, the rule of law, cannot be served under this administration until this administration is gone permanently. Permanently. Now, it's been kind of hard. And it's been devastating to look at. Devastating to see people fighting about who caved. Don't matter. You got a man in office whose mind caved many years ago. That's what you have. And you need to start addressing it. And you need to pivot toward that. Because we're in a very, very dangerous place. That shit with Mandani. Danger. A dangerous place. Because what did that do? Open the door. It opened the door for us to be welcomed back in. Even on our side, we criticize Mandani. And I don't think I will ever be happy with Schumer or Jeffries for not acknowledging Mandani. I don't think I could handle that. They didn't stand. And that's what's ripping our party apart. Because we deserve better leaders. And we need leaders that's going to look at not just the physical aspect, but the mental or psychological aspects of incoming people and presidents. That's what we need to look at. Medical, psychological. It's not political. It is not. It is not Democrat. It is not Republican. But if your head's not on a swivel right, and you're holding the nuclear codes, it is called an existential threat. For a while, they were saying it, and then they stopped saying it. Start back saying it, because we're real close now. We're really close. And the judges are fighting furiously. And I appreciate Jack Smith for coming out, because he learned that silence is not golden, but complicity. Jack has learned that now. And a lot of people didn't come forward. But you need to. In order to save this country, we need as many voices to be heard. Because you know what? We wasn't dealing with a strong man. Not at all. We was dealing with a man that was compromised. We wasn't dealing with a strong man. We was dealing with a person that is being blackmailed at every turn. We wasn't dealing with a strong man. We was dealing with a man that was trying to be a dictator. That's what we was dealing with. And when I think about all of this, and something that really got to me, Clarence Thomas wrote a book. And he said, on the cover of this book, he said, we are created equal. And that was the biggest lie. I don't even know why he put this on the cover. That was a big lie. Because you know damn well we are not created equal. And you saw that when Mamdani won. You saw it when Mamdani won. You heard me say in other videos, if you listen, in this book, on page 231 of Clarence Thomas' book, and I will say it again, he said that the allegation is everything and facts don't even matter. It's the seriousness of the charge. People don't ask for facts anymore. They say, give me a story. Give me a narrative. And this is what I can like in this book. And he said, we are created equal. We're not. Because if we was created equal, then through this whole process, and you kept hearing people say, if Obama had did this, if Biden had did this, and if they had looked at their mental acuity, they wouldn't have never got this far. We're not created equal. But we went all the way from not even addressing this man's mental acuity to not saying existential threats. And we over there talking about the Democrats that folded when you can't see that the man that hold the nuclear codes, mine, folded many years ago. And that's what has got me so upset. This man said that everything that happens is a hoax. It's not a hoax. It's real. And let's look at it for what it really is. It is not a damn hoax. And the terrible thing is, you guys are looking at it, I don't know what angle, but like I said, my view is, this is a person that could never, ever, ever been the president of the United States. Could have never. But because of the hatred and the suffering that we wanted other people to do, what did we do? We normalized the behavior, put them in office, and now we're coming up for pedophile. And who in the hell is the deep state? Who is it? Because you're about to find out. And after you find out the truth, will we even be on the planet? Because they're building a lot of shit without us knowing it. And that's something that has me troubled. Have I lost sleep? Yes, I have. But like I said, if you want to keep going down that road of the strong man, If you want to keep going down that road of not understanding the case of the most dangerous person in our lifetime without briefing yourself, then do so. But step back and give yourself the opportunity. Step back and realize that it's not about the policy. It's not. I don't care what policy being drawn up. I don't care what bill comes to the Senate. Around the corner, somebody has the tape. Somebody has a tape. A bunch of tapes. And that's not been good for our nation. DJT will never be able to serve we the people, the Constitution, the rule of law. He will never be able to serve. And now you know why. He's never had the ability and he can be easily manipulated. And when he's cornered, he becomes so dangerous. This is not Democrat. This is not Republican. This is about humanity and the destruction of humanity by DJT and his administration. Before I go, I want to also thank Nicole Wallace. I had said that it might have been somebody that I left out, and she's put out a lot. I want to thank Nicole, Joy, Rachel. I want to thank Lawrence, Ari, Chris. I don't know what your network is named, but I know you all got to come up out of there. And I thank you all for being by my side these many years. Because once again, I never learned a damn thing off of Fox News. But you guys have gave me so much guidance. And I want to thank number 44 because he gave me a lot of guidance. Absolutely a lot of guidance. And I want these channels to realize something. It has always been about DJ's mental cruelty. Whatever bill you push out there, whatever policy that's created, it's not going to go through. Because we're in a moment of time of blackmail. A pure blackmail. And he can never, ever serve the people. Never. And on that note, I thank you for listening to my rant.